holds nothing but space, man. And I wanna go home.
And of course, the news breaking yesterday that we're going to host it next year. Already cities around the UK expressing their interest in hosting the Eurovision Song Contest. Of course, organisers decided the event couldn't be held in Ukraine. Ukraine winning the contest this year due to the situation there at the moment. And as you heard at the end there, Essex boy, Malden's very own Sam Ryder, came second in Eurovision this year. Here's what he said about that announcement that it's coming to the UK.
It's Ukraine's party. We're just inviting them to throw it at our house. I know how much it meant to Kalush and the Ukrainian delegation that Eurovision would be held at home in Ukraine next year. And I'm not the only one whose heart is heavy knowing that that can't be the case at this moment in time. But what I would love to say to anyone watching this from Ukraine is that we know how to throw a party here in the UK.
We certainly do. Cheryl Baker won Eurovision in 1981 with Bucks Fizz, now performs with Mike Nolan and Jay Aston as the Fizz, and joins me now. Cheryl, morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on. Sum up how you feel about this news.
I'm thrilled, and I will do anything. I will claw my way to get into the front row of the auditorium, wherever it may be. I just think it's fantastic. You know, I'm really sorry for the Ukraine, but I think it's the right decision. You know, we did come second. We can host it. We have the venues. We have the infrastructure. As long as it stays as Ukraine is actually the host country. You know, as Sam said, we're just letting them have their party in our house. I think that's a great way of putting it.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a lovely way of putting it. It was sort of mooted at the time, wasn't it, because of the situation in Ukraine that we might ultimately end up hosting it. Obviously, the confirmation came yesterday. Where were you when you found out? How did you find out, Cheryl?
I was at home and someone rang. Oh, I think someone rang to do an interview. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it all started, didn't it? It was ITV, BBC, all the radio stations, all the TV stations. Everybody. I mean, it's such big news. Everybody wants to talk about the fact that Eurovision is coming to us next year, and I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think it's great for the country.
What does it mean to you, the contest? Winning it all those years ago, what does it mean to you still today in 2022?
Yeah, I did Eurovision twice. I came 11th in 1978 with a band called Coco. So I knew what it was like not to win. And to actually 3 years later to do it again and to win, it changed my life. It absolutely changed my life. And I loved it when I did it as a child. When I used to watch it, when I watched Sandy Shaw win in 1967, I thought, because I wanted to be a runner, I wanted to win an Olympic gold medal, and I did, but for music, because that's what winning the Eurovision is like, you know. So I adore Eurovision, and I'm so excited and thrilled that it's coming here next year.
Do you think there has been a change in tone? In more recent years, we've been a lot of talk, it's all political, we never do very well. And we sense that narrative changed in the build-up to this year with Sam Ryder, and it turned out it did. Do you feel that there is a real change now?
Absolutely. It's down to Sam. It's down to Sam, I swear. He was so pro-Eurovision. He was so proud of it. And he, you know, he had millions and millions of followers on socials, which definitely helped. But then he went all around Europe promoting and he bigged it up so much. And because he did so well, it's kind of made it cool again to like Eurovision. So I'm thrilled about that, because we were getting a bit, oh, you know what, we don't do very well. Is it time to pull out? And, you know, getting a bit blasé about it. But it's all turned on its head now, thankfully. And it's a good time to be in the UK and to be hosting the Eurovision Song Contest.
Fantastic. And we've hosted it a few times before, haven't we? So we've got a bit of experience in hosting.
We've hosted it when we haven't won. For instance, when ABBA won, we didn't win it the year before. I can't remember why Sweden didn't host it that year, but yeah, we've got the hang of it now.
Any ideas where you think it should be, where you'd like it to be?
Oh, well, personally, I'd like it to be in my back garden, but probably a regional. I think London gets enough of the big kind of event, so I'd like it to be a regional one. A friend of mine just contacted me and said, please big up Bristol. So there you are, I'm bigging up Bristol.
Cheryl, great to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on, Cheryl
Thank
Baker.
you.
Let's bring in SuRie, who's spoken to us many times as well on BBC Essex, born in Harlow and represented the UK just a few years ago in 2018. SuRie, how you feeling?
Morning, Sonia. Really well. How you doing?
Very good. How did you find out about this news and what's your reaction to it?
Well, Sonia, I had deleted social media for a little while. I was having a little break and reducing the noise off my phone. Possibly not the best time to do that. So yesterday, I was just working in the studio and my phone started blowing up. And I wasn't entirely sure why. I didn't have breaking news, notifications, but lots of media requests and friends saying how exciting, etc., etc. So last night I reinstalled Twitter, reinstalled Instagram, reinstalled Facebook. I'm trying to edge back into civilization and catch up with the wonderful news, but it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. Can you believe it? Because as I said to Cheryl, this idea was sort of mooted a little while ago, wasn't it, that this may happen given Sam came second. But can you believe it is actually now announced it is going to happen?
Well, Sam just did amazingly, as Cheryl beautifully said. He's just a brilliant human being and performer and ambassador. And so, yeah, it goes without saying that we all wish the situation was different and that Ukraine could host, and that was just not even anything we had to consider or discuss or chat about. I wish Ukraine could do it in the way that they want to. And I was there in 2017. So I was actually in Kyiv for Eurovision, working with the Belgian delegation and Blanche, who came fourth that year. And we had an amazing time in that amazing city, in that amazing country. So, in the past few months with everything, I've been really taken back to that time and those memories, and have kept in regular contact with the friends, the Ukrainian volunteers that we made through that experience. It's been very moving and poignant and awful, obviously. So it's a mixture with the news. I love Eurovision so much, but there's also that whole mix of why we're having to host it, why it's going to have to be here. So it's a double-edged sword. And
I think Sam, as Cheryl said, Sam put it really, really beautifully. And this is your party. It's just in our house. And I do feel we're going to love the fact to host it and be honoured to host it. But I do think hopefully Ukraine will be at the centre of that event next year, even though, as Sam said, it's at our house.
Yeah, and that's so important. And also, I'm just reminded again, the whole meaning and spirit of Eurovision. Yes, it would be lovely for us to, leave politics at the door and just enjoy the theatre, the spectacle, the entertainment of it. But the whole reason for Eurovision, it began after World War II. It started to bring people together, bring nations and countries together and unite in something joyous and wonderful. And here we are again. So the whole spirit of Eurovision is so true in that. And again, I find it quite moving. I find it quite powerful. But it's the same message that it started with all those years back.
And it's had a big impact on you being part of it as well. As Cheryl said, dream come true. For you, no different. And I know we've spoken about it before. It's been a wonderful experience for you.
Oh, hugely. I mean, I was at the other end of the scoreboard, Cheryl wonderfully at the top. And just to balance things, I was at the bottom. But I had the most wonderful experience and a hat trick of experiences in 2015, 2017 with the Belgians and then with the UK. Memories that I could never have imagined would feature in my career all my life. And it's the gift that keeps giving. It keeps taking me all over the world, meeting wonderful people and all sharing in a love of music. So I love everything that Eurovision stands for, and I'm so grateful for everything it's brought to me.
And SuRie, stay there. Cheryl, let's bring you in. I'm guessing you're both going to be front of the queue to try and go to this next year, right? And if you need a +1, I'm just, mentioning, obviously, I'll be happy to oblige with that. But Cheryl, you're going to be there, aren't you? I can just tell.
Honestly, you'd have to ban me or something to stop me being there. I have to be there. I mean, I wanted to be there wherever it was, if it was in the Ukraine but in the UK, of course I want to be there. Of course. I will do anything to be there.
And SuRie, same for you. Nothing's going to stop you, right?
It's just, there's nothing like it. And so to be able to experience it, but maybe even sleep in your own bed the same night, happy days.
It's an added bonus, isn't it? A pleasure to talk to both of you. 9:17. Going to carry on talking about this in just a second. Your thoughts, 0800 111 40 41. Katie Skingle is the MD of Cat Marketing in Colchester. I can see her office right now. They're big fans of the contest. And Katie is joined by James Beattie and Catherine Holdstock, who all work at the same place. Good morning to you.
Hello, Sonia.
Good morning. Now, there's a lot of excitement here. Just you're all sitting there, look, wearing flags, I think, aren't you? So safe to say you like Eurovision, right, Katie?
We love Eurovision, Sonia. It's definitely our bag. We can't wait. It's so exciting.
Now, this is interesting, isn't it? Because you're big fans of Eurovision. Your line of work is marketing. What do you think here? Because now the challenge is on. We're going to be hosting it somewhere in the UK. Where to host it?
Well, I'm really sorry, but I had to not fangirl when Cheryl said she was going to potentially have it at her own house. I'm like, Cheryl, I'm totally in. Invite me round. Where's the invite? But we're like you. We're pro Essex. We obviously would be. We'd love to see it in our own county. So, and there's plenty of opportunity for that to be the case. But we will travel to wherever it is, just to be completely clear. This is a road trip for our 15th anniversary at CAT. And so we're going en masse and we are going to party.
Yeah, I sense that. I can sense that looking at you and talking to you this morning. Now, James, did you ever think this was gonna happen? We did ever so well, didn't we, in the contest this year against some of the previous years?
Unbelievable. I think Sam was just incredible, isn't he? He's such a great ambassador. I think I might be, putting him up for PM at this rate. He just, when he talks, everyone listens. He's just fantastic. So yeah, it's just amazingly exciting. When Katie said we'll go to Eurovision, it's just like, yeah, I'm in. Get me in the car. I don't care if I have to walk to wherever it is I'm going. It's just a great event. And as you said, we're always involved with it here. We love it. We're on WhatsApp, chatting to each other and having parties. Yeah, just can't wait to get involved. And if we can get there, just unbelievable, really.
Well, we haven't got far to travel, safe to say. Catherine, what do you think about the news?
Incredible. And I remember watching Katrina and the Waves win back in 97, was it? And being sort of 10 and falling asleep for all of the points. But this year, just being wide awake because it was just such historic stuff happening. And just that moment where you believe you can win and Ukraine to win and Sam to come second like it did. It was just an incredible moment. It was amazing.
What an opportunity as well, Katie, because we were talking yesterday on the show about the Commonwealth Games starting in Birmingham, of course, at the end of the week. And this is another huge event being hosted in this country and bringing with it a whole host of opportunities.
Well, I think people forget sometimes, and I think 2012 did a lot to showcase that we can do it really, really well. I think sometimes we forget how brilliant we are at hosting the big events. We are looked to. We are, I think, the people that have hosted the Eurovision the most. I think it's 8 times we've hosted it. And actually, we as Sam says, we know how to do it. And actually, what a privilege to be able to showcase the Ukraine and their win, and what an opportunity for us to be able to also congratulate Sam and the effort he put in because let's be honest, Sam Ryder can assist the UK in relations all around the world. He is the man. So yeah, we're just thrilled, really.
It's that positivity that I think he's brought to the contest and how the public view it. And I suppose now, as we look towards hosting it next year, who's going to represent us as the performer next year? The pressure's on, isn't it?
I mean, we'll collaboratively give it a go, Sonia. We might not get through the first round, but we'll certainly have a try.
I think it would be a nil point if any of us here was involved.
I don't want to reverse Sadie the good work he's done. No,
I was going to say Sadie 9 might be able to do well at BBC Essex. If I had anything to do with singing, it would definitely be a nil point. Great to talk to all of you as well. Thank you for joining us on the show. Katie Skingle, MD of Cat Marketing in Colchester. Big fans in their office of the Eurovision Song Contest. James and Catherine talking as well.